Today I'm going to do a follow-up video on one I made before, and that video was called Why You Should Buy a Super CRV, or the advantages of buying a Super CRV. Well, today I've come up with the top 10 things to consider when buying an RV, and the top 10 benefits, I guess is what you would say. So I've got a Super C, a Jayco Seneca. I really love it. It's a 2021. We drive it, we use it, we really like it, and so I put together a list. Considered selling it, basically just because of the cost, not because of the utility and how much I love it, but I think I could put that money somewhere else. So I'm debating it, so I came up with kind of my own top 10 list of things that are good and bad about it. And so one of the best things about the Super C RV is it's heavy duty and it's big and it's on a truck chassis. It's a Freightliner chassis with a Freightliner engine and a Freightliner cab. Even though it does have the smaller diesel engine compared to, say, like a semi-truck that'll haul 80,000 or 120,000 pounds or whatever they'll haul. This one has a total towing capacity of 41,000, so that's one of the real big advantages, is it's got enough power to move itself around and it's on a nice big chassis. Some of the disadvantages to Class A's and Class C's or Class B's is they're on a lot lighter frame and they won't tow anywhere near as much. So that gets into point 2, towing and towing capacity. This RV has a 41,000 gross vehicle weight with the trailer. It has a 12,000 pound hitch on it, so the towing capacity is 12,000 pounds. And I would never tow anywhere near that much. I don't have anything to tow that much. And I also weighed my RV fully loaded while I was driving down the road. I pulled in, and taking the 41,000 and subtracting 12,000 gives me a 29,000 pound capacity. And when I weighed it, I wasn't anywhere close to that. I was 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 pounds less than that. So that's a safety margin that's just built into it, which I think is actually excellent. So the benefit is, yeah, we can tow more than 10,000 pounds. Little smaller C's won't do that. The other thing about this, when I put a big enclosed trailer behind it, or my Jeep on a flatbed trailer, this RV doesn't even notice it's back there. I don't even know that my gas mileage gets a whole lot less, or my diesel fuel mileage gets a whole lot less. It just doesn't, no way the tail is wagging the dog on this thing. Another thing, the third point I want to bring out, is enhanced safety features. This cab is a great big semi-truck cab, like a truck cab. It is not similar to a Class A, or a Class A you're sitting up high, you're right next to the windshield, and there's no crash, there's no crumple zone, there's no kind of room for error there. If you get in a head-on collision, there'd be a big difference between driving the Super C and driving a Class A. Fourth point is storage capacity. This, because of the way the chassis is built and the RV is on top. So because of that chassis, you've got 6 steps to climb up into the RV, 3 to get off the ground, and 3 to get up over the frame into the RV itself. But with that chassis underneath, there's massive amounts of storage capacity. I have another video about that. I'll link down below it, where I go through all the cabins. But basically, we have push-through storage all the way up and down the RV, from the middle all the way back. One of the cabins has a water tank in it, one of the cabinets has a generator in it, one of the cabinets has a propane tank in it. Otherwise, they're just wide open, so there's lots of storage. Another advantage is the drivability and the maneuverability. With the Class A chassis, you're way up high and it's more like driving a bus, whereas this one, you're lower down, you're about medium, you're still high and you're still up off the ground, but you feel like you're in a truck. And with the stability of the air ride suspension and the air brakes, just like on a semi, it feels comfortable, it feels easy to drive, it feels maneuverable. We got it just even so my wife could drive it. She drives it around once in a while, although we're always together, so I generally drive it. But just the feeling and the maneuverability and the ease of that, although it does weigh a lot. Like I said, we're at 26,000 pounds or something like that, so you got to be really careful about mud or wet, slick grass or getting in the sand or anything else. You certainly would not want to get it stuck. The other seventh advantage is, once again, we're talking about weight. The frame on this and the chassis is strong enough to allow for additional modifications, adding 1,000 pounds worth of solar and batteries to the roof and the ceiling won't overweigh the RV. Driving it down the road with full tanks or with full water tanks or vice versa, if you're camping and your gray and black tanks get completely filled up, that can be like 800 pounds. This RV is not affected by it. You just drive it till you can dump it, and I generally have my water full when I leave to go somewhere because I'm headed up the mountains boondocking or whatever else, and so having that weight on the RV for the water, fresh water or gray water, I never really worry about it. Another thing about this is the extended capacity for traveling. Underneath here, in the back on this model, there's an 80-gallon fuel tank. Some of the Super Cs have two little fuel tanks underneath the passenger and driver seat. That's a different chassis, the M2, I believe. But with my 80-gallon fuel tank, and if I can get 10 miles to the gallon, I can go 800 miles. So that just really lets you extend your range and lets you plan things a little bit better and lets you run a long time out boondocking if you want to run your generator. It allows you to run from larger cities to larger cities and know that in the larger cities you generally get a better fuel price. So like when I run across Utah to go down to Vegas or something, I'll watch where the fuel is and gas up in Salt Lake, which is generally a lot cheaper, fuel up, diesel up, whatever, and then I'll make sure and come back to Salt Lake to fill it up on the way back. Although an emotional part of that is I try not to let it go empty, because that's just a big bite to the wallet. If I only go down a quarter of a tank and only have to put like 25 gallons in it, or half a tank, 40 gallons are in it or something, it doesn't feel so terrible to my wallet as if I have to put 80 gallons of diesel in it. That can get kind of expensive. So that's kind of a drawback and an advantage. Extended travel, extended stay. Number 9 is luxury features and amenities. Because this is on a diesel chassis and a strong chassis, I actually have one that's got triple slides. I know a lot of RVs and a lot of Class A's and a lot of fifth wheelers and motorhomes and stuff have slides on them, but slides also add a lot of extra weight. And so with the chassis on this and the triple slides, my bedroom slides out in the back, my kitchen slides out on both sides, and so I can go from about 1 foot when they're fully closed up to about 6 to 7 feet wide. So in the kitchen area we've got a really nice living environment, and so the amenities there. It's got a full-size bathroom. It's got 2 monster king beds. The one above the cab is an India king bed or something. It's even larger than a California king or a Super King. And then the one in the back is a normal king bed. And there's lots of storage inside, as well as a full kitchen and a full-size refrigerator. We've got 6 batteries on this, 2 chassis batteries and 4 batteries for the house. And I've got it all connected to solar, so amenities there are available. Nicer fridge. Fridge has got an ice maker, for goodness sakes. Heat pumps on the furnaces, so they heat and cool if you're plugged in or running the generator, etc., etc. The last thing you can say, this bullet point, is it would really be a nice RV if you were living full-time in it. If you were RVing full-time, if you were just loading up, heading out across the country and living in it and possibly working in it or just retiring in it, drivable. It's extremely easy to set up. It's got automatic leveling jacks on it. It's got automatic slides on it, so it's actually kind of surprising. I'll pull into where I want to be, check to make sure I'm pretty level, and put some pads underneath the ailerons, is what I call them, the levelers. I'll push the button, it'll just level. I want to make sure I don't ever pull the tires off the ground, so I want to be kind of level to begin with, which is a challenge when I'm boondocking. But it'll auto level, and once I get that auto level, I'll push the button, slide out, slide out, slide out, awning out. It's got a electric control panel there that has all the lights on LED, and they'll all turn on or off or individually on the pad, on that pad. So yeah, the luxury part of it is really quite nice. Stay warm and comfortable. It's got 3 TVs in it, for goodness sakes. One on the outside, one on the inside on a TV elevator thing, one in the bedroom. There's a switcher in the closet to play your computer or your Roku or whatever else on any or all of the TVs at the same time. Stereo system inside and out on it. So yeah, there's a lot of amenities. It's really quite a nice rig. So if you're considering a Super C, think about all those things, go take a tour. They range in price from, oh my, wow, really, to, oh my goodness, how could anybody possibly spend gazillions of dollars on one? So some of the Super Cs are really, really luxurious. They're all in the range of bigger. 38 to 40 feet, 45 feet is where you'll kind of find them. There's a couple of smaller ones, but with the big chassis and the big diesel engines, they're pretty sizable rigs. So if you're considering one, I say go for it if you can afford it. They get about 9 miles a gallon driving around, which is expensive, but truck hauling a big fifth wheeler gets about the same. So if you have a Super C, let me know. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't. What you're interested in, if you want to buy one, if you want to take a tour of mine. I have some other videos on here that show the inside, the outside, the engine, solar I've put on it, things like that. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and call your mom. She misses you.